Counselor Pedri,
Here.
Demas,
Here.
Zadi,
Here.
Hanson,
Here.
Hickerson,
Here.
Thompson,
Here.
Malonis,
Here.
Bingham,
Here.
Mayor Mickelson.
Here. Council, I would entertain a motion to approve the revised agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilor Zadi. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Demas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. On our consent agenda, we have the City Council meeting minutes of September 16th, 2025, the financial report summaries for July and August of 2025, the Department of Audit F66 Annual City and Town Financial Report and Annual Report Summary, the 2025 Weed and Pest Control Summary, Joint Powers Telecommunication Board meeting minutes of August 21st, 2025, Joint Powers Combined Communication Board meeting minutes of August 25th, 2025, the amended Sweetwater County Joint Travel and Tourism Budget for the year ending in June 30th, 2026, a letter from the Office of Bar Counsel to Cassandra Ann Craven concerning evidence regarding violation of Rule 4.2 of the Wyoming State Bar Rules of Professional Conduct, and a thank you note from David Clark regarding the city's support of the Requiem Monument. Do we have a motion?
So moved, Your Honor.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Zadi. Is there any, no discussion there on the consent agenda. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to presentations and proclamations. First up, or only thing up this evening, is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation. If y'all would like to approach the podium and let us know who you are and the organization you represent, we'd sure appreciate it.
So my name is Melinda Boss. I'm the executive director at YWCA, and this is Kelly Smith. She is our lead advocate at the Victims Advocacy Center, which is our domestic violence and sexual assault program here. So we want to thank you very much for letting us do this each year. Yes, it seems pretty simple. We're doing a proclamation, but domestic violence is one of those things, as common as it is, and as much as it happens, it's still very hidden. You don't realize that this is happening until all of a sudden it falls apart. And then a crisis happens. And then you're sitting there going, I didn't even know this. When we used to teach a class up at the college, which was our advocacy training, teaching them about this, I still remember a student coming up to me and going, wow, I had no idea that happened here in Wyoming. I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry, but it happens everywhere, no matter what town. I've lived in at least 10 different towns in Wyoming, and every single one of them has a shelter. Every single one of them has services, because these things are out there. And the only way it's ever going to go away is with community taking action. This is everyone knowing what the resources are, everyone knowing what the behavior is, everyone standing up and saying, no, this is not what you do. This is not appropriate. This is not how you treat someone. Hey, stop doing that. Talking not just to the girls saying, oh, pick the right guys. No, I'm also talking about the boys. You're going to want to talk to them about good relationship and bad relationship. The best thing against domestic violence is seeing what a healthy relationship looks like. Showing them and encouraging them to have that healthy relationship will do so much more, because they will then see that's wrong. That doesn't work right. That's concerning. I remember many years ago, when Whitney Sewell was killed, her mom came and talked about how little they had recognized the symbols. And as simple as, well, I can't go out. No, he doesn't want me to. No, we don't have the money for that. No, we can't go there. All the little things that slowly isolated her, kept her alone, until it fell to the point where he killed her and himself. So essentially, that's what we like to come here each time and at least make it recognized, and thanking you guys for making this part of the public meeting so this information gets out there, that there are resources, there are options. No one has to sit alone. No one has to be by themselves. I'm going to have Kelly give you some idea of the statistics that we have just here in Sweetwater County and how that looks compared to a national. But we also, all month, will have these little jars at different places with both stickers, bracelets, or pens, just a little bit of a symbol. So wearing this for domestic violence, showing your support, They also have our crisis line on it. It can be handed to anyone you want. So I'm going to walk around and do that while she tells you some of our statistics.
So these statistics are based on the month of August for the Victims Advocacy Center. In August, we served 65 new clients. That's since the beginning of our fiscal year. A lot of our clients were unfortunately domestic violence. 14 of our clients were male, 49 female. That's a really high number for men. The average age is between 25 and 59, and that's just our median. But we do serve a lot of victims of elder abuse recently also. August doesn't reflect that number, but the months previously absolutely do. So we serve a lot of elder abuse victims. With this being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, you should probably know that 45 of those 65 victims were DV victims. So that's the majority of the people that we serve every month. The majority are domestic violence. 2 of our victims that month also were classified as being victims of hate crimes. 20 were stalking and harassment. 70 people received individual advocacy services, which means we spoke to them during a time of crisis. And we did a total of 37 crisis interventions in person that in August. We provided 81 shelter nights to individuals. And in addition to that, it's a lot of data, I apologize. We filed 5 domestic violence protection orders in the month of August. However, we actually helped 25 individuals obtain protection, legal protection that month. We also answer 988 crisis calls. We get calls forwarded from the domestic violence hotline, the national hotline. So we receive an influx of calls from many different routes besides our crisis line. And in an average month, we answer about 150 calls. So those are our statistics for August.
So that just gives you an idea of a small picture of what happens just here in Sweetwater County, and that's just 1 month. So we appreciate this as well. One of the things we do want to also let people know about, and this gives us a great opportunity, is we do a vigil, an awareness vigil. Every year, we've been doing it for the last couple as a glow run. We decided we're going to have a slightly positive spin. We want to honor and remember the victims who have died of domestic violence. There are now 13 in Sweetwater County that are memorialized. The newest one that was just going to be added this year is Angela Cunningham. So her family just went through the process of getting her recognized for that. Her silhouette will be recognized and added to the community one. Our Glow Run and Awareness Vigil is the 17th, so not this Friday, next Friday. You just come on down to Young at Heart Senior Center. We will be there, start opening at 6, ceremony at 6:15. We do a small ceremony to recognize the victims, and then we do a short glow up. We decided short. We got some people lost last year. It's a little longer than we meant to in the dark, so we're going to do it shorter. But we're going to do it right from the senior center back to the senior center. We'll have food and some snacks. We'll have everything there. Really want you to come hear the stories. These women went through a lot, and they deserve to be remembered. They deserve to be recognized for what they did. Sadly, for what they lost in their lives there. So I did want to let you know about that. And we will also have the jars all around town. You're welcome to them. Please let us know if you actually want one. I actually have a flyer or two if you want to grab one in case you didn't get it, but I think it was all in your packets. So I don't know if anybody has any questions or things they wanted to know from us.
Melinda, could you please repeat the date and time?
It is the 17th of October. So not this Friday, next. Young at Heart Senior Center, 6 p.m., usually done by 8. Just long, it depends on how fast you walk.
If someone's looking for services or more information, where are you located at?
Best thing to do is we have a 24/7 crisis line. Easiest number to give them because that's the one they can do anytime. So 307-352-1030.
Thank you.
Are we seeing an uptick or the trending down, or how is that in Sweetwater County in your guys' experience of the domestic
I
violence
guess I want to
services?
say that number-wise, when we looked at our years, between 350 and 450 has been pretty consistent over, I'm going to say at least 7 years. Most of the years I've been doing this, that's roughly around where the number lands. And that's individual people served in 1 year. So that it doesn't show an uptick. I think there's changes in types. I will say we've seen far more sexual assaults in the past. The way it looks nationally is we haven't seen, thank you, as many of the homicides. Until Whitney and Angela, the last one was in 2010. That was listed as a domestic violence homicide, and that was Kara Bonzel. So it had been a while. I don't know that they are as violent, but number-wise, hasn't changed.
Staying steady.
So I think they're still out there. And it's amazing how many of them will say, I didn't even know this resource was here. And we're like, been here for 50 years. We pretty much had the same number for 50 years. So.
Your Honor. So besides raising awareness, what can we as a community do to help drive that number down?
I think what it is making these information, making these stories part of the conversation. Just saying, hey, this is an important thing that happens in our community. These are great resources. We want to support them in ways we can. Maybe it's little things like joining the hygiene drive that the churches do, because they give us a lot of those supplies and purchases for that. Maybe that's saying, hey, I want to get some of those booklets. We'll give out booklets that tell the stories of the silhouettes. Is having those around in your office, having the bracelets outside of October. October is our easy time to do things because it's nationwide, everywhere, and every community does their domestic violence in October. But having it year round, having a little story up. If you knew one of the victims personally, sharing their story in your office, having it there to say, hey, here's a flyer about the Y and the crisis services they offer, so that it's much more known, that people know you as a resource to go to. I think that's one of our biggest things if they're going to do that. If you're hearing comments that seem wrong, this is oh yeah, she just got to listen harder. Okay, whoa. Maybe we need to think of a different word for that. Or cutting names, or why are you using those names? Why are you calling that person that? Or misunderstanding where it can be, because it's not just women that are victims, men are victims too. Understanding that it can be everywhere and being willing when you're hearing something that seems wrong. I remember teaching a class, it was a financial class. I was sitting there talking about budgets and schedules, and the person happened to be a female. She said, well, my boyfriend's a little clingy. And I went, like Kelly and I would be there, radar goes up. Clingy? It's a strange word to use. What do we mean? Well, every time I have to go to the grocery store, he has to come with. Every time I go to play darts, he's going to come with me. Every time I walk around the house, he's got to know where I'm at. I'm like, oh, we need to have a conversation because that's a different thing. That's not clingy. That's, I just want to always have fun. I always want to do stuff together. That's a little more than clingy. And so talking to her about, hey, this is what this is. That story was really interesting because 5 years later, the victim came in and said, I remember you telling me that. I wish I had listened, but instead I married him, but now I'm leaving him. So being that resource. That's what we say is the best thing. Be the resource in the community for the victims to come to, so that they know you're willing to listen. So.
Thank you.
It certainly is an issue that can touch anyone. I think I shared last year that my cousin's husband shot and killed her while she was pregnant with her second child. And watching the impact that has had on my family and on her surviving child really drives home, right? And I had bumped into her in Cheyenne probably a month before it happened, and she was bubbly and happy and everything was great. So it is definitely a call to be aware and pay attention and look for the clingy as a sign that maybe some intervention would be beneficial. Okay, The YWCA of Sweetwater County recognizes and participates in outreach and awareness efforts as part of Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October. Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an excellent opportunity for citizens to learn more about the impact domestic violence has on our community, learn ways to support victims, and better understand the resources available to help our community members. Domestic violence is more than just physical abuse, but also involves many ways one individual tries controlling the lives of another individual through emotional, sexual, and financial abuse. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men in the United States have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner. Too often, the victims of abuse and violence in Sweetwater County feel isolated and alone, thinking there is no way to leave the abuse. It is only through a community of support that they can break the cycle of abuse. YWCA provides trained advocates and services like the crisis line, emergency shelter, and support to help victims become survivors. The government and citizens of Rock Springs, Wyoming fully recognize the need to treat victims with dignity and compassion. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Max Mickelson, Mayor of the City of Rock Springs, do hereby declare the month of October 2025 to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the City of Rock Springs, and call upon our citizens to stand together against domestic violence and offer support and understanding to survivors. In an effort to raise awareness for this important issue, the YWCA will host the 3rd annual Purple Glow Run Walk on October 17th, 2025, beginning at 6 p.m. The event will include a memorial for victims who have died because of violence through the Silent Witness Memorial and a family-friendly walk-run with a purple glow in the dark theme. And thank you very much for your work.
Thank you. Thank you. You do a picture. And you're in the picture. Just tell me. Can't get out of it.
I'm not going to.
So, also, I do have the bucket. If anybody would like one that has not, would like to take one, we can give it.
All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good work.
Okay, that brings us to petitions and public comment. Thank you. Yes, please. That's perfect. We'll take a bucket too. You can put the bucket up by water billing.
Sorry.
There, you're good.
I'm going to do this because this will be easier if I have to remember this tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you. We are to petitions and public comment. If you'd like to address the council and I, please approach the podium and identify yourself and any organization that you may represent. Please.
Hello. I'm Reverend Kelly Parrish Lucas. I'm the pastor of First Congregational Church, and I am here tonight on behalf of Churches Together. Last month, you did a proclamation to recognize the September of Service that we put together, and I thought you might like to hear the results of that service last month. So I brought that for you tonight. So our group Churches Together advocated for 3 things last month: helping at the recycling center, suicide prevention, and a hygiene drive. We did have people go down to the recycling center, but we asked people to do it all month long, so I don't have a number for that. We do know the Prosper Suicide Prevention, Intervention, and postvention training hosted at the Catholic Community Parish Center on September 24th was attended by just over 50 people. So that was wonderful. And then I have the numbers of the hygiene drive. So if you're ready, by the end of September, we had collected, and I'll leave this with you, 68 rolls of toilet paper, 1,445 pieces of feminine hygiene supplies, 41 bottles of shampoo, 12 bottles of 3-in-1, 36 bottles of conditioner, 62 sticks of deodorant, 59 bottles of lotion, 746 bars of soap, and 49 bottles of body wash, 162 toothbrushes, 91 tubes of toothpaste, 260 razors, 142 combs, 22 hairbrushes, 8 boxes of tissues, 12 cans of shaving cream, 43 washcloths, 15 loofahs, 9 packages of body wipes, 300 pieces of incontinence supplies, and then boxes and boxes and boxes of travel-sized toiletries. This has all been counted and redistributed to the Sweetwater County Food Bank, the Rock Springs High School, and the food pantry up at First Congregational Church, so we can make it accessible to other people in the community who need it, like the Y. So we wanted to thank the Rock Springs Library, the White Mountain Library, the Rock Springs Chamber of Commerce, and Smith's for serving as collection sites. And of course, the churches that also collected. The churches that helped with this project include First Baptist Church, the Catholic churches, First Congregational Church of Rock Springs, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Holy Communion Episcopal Church, and Mount of Olives Lutheran Church. Thank you.
You can just bring it right here to Mary. And thank you. That's wonderful. It's very appreciated. Thank you.
Hi, y'all. My name is Susan Schmid, and I work with the local 5051 protest group. And I just wanted to let y'all know that we will be doing a No Kings protest October 18th from 1 to 3 to protest the rise of fascism in the United States, specifically the use of the military domestically in DC, Oregon, and Chicago, with increased cuts to social services and federal agencies essential in supporting our states and doing our duty, while scapegoating political enemies, demeaning political opponents, as well as dehumanizing marginalized groups, such as folks in the LGBTQ+ community, as well as people of color, while pushing a nationalist agenda and military supremacy, while suppressing journalism and free speech in favor of censored speech and misinformation. So for us to be doing our part while we're doing these protests, we will also be doing a canned food drive, as well as raising money for families that have been affected by ICE raids in our community. And so we would encourage everybody to come and join us October 18th from 1 to 3. We're going to be right in front of the Chamber of Commerce, so on Dewar and Gateway. And if resisting fascism is something that you'd like to be a part of, you can come and join like-minded people in doing something to serve our community and give back to our local food banks as something that we just want to do as, our part in helping people get through this time.
Thank you.
Are you ready? Okay. Hi, my name is Shirley Ann, and I only got a few words to say to you tonight. That's shocking, I know. But number one, I want to thank you, President Demas. I know you might think I'm doing it as a joke, but it's not a joke, because if you wouldn't have abstained, then I wouldn't have found all this stuff, gathered all this stuff up to know what the city is really doing and what it's about and what's happening. So I thank you so much for that. And Max, I see you're doing an ordinance, and I want to thank you very much on these new ordinances that you're gonna do. At least you didn't put on there, oh, by the way, I hope Shirley Sekigli doesn't come back. So I'm grateful that you haven't put something in there for me, but you know how my mother once said, if you can't handle the heat, then get out of the kitchen. And one thing I've got is the First Amendment, and just like everybody else does, and they have the truth. There's the truth and there's not the truth. And I've been blessed with a lot of truth. And your ordinance is not going to stop that. How longer do I have?
3 minutes, 50 seconds.
Oh, okay, let's see, let me see. But I do appreciate it. I appreciate that my 5-minute First Amendment. I appreciate you guys just sitting there, not saying a word or ask me any questions except for Max, and then sometimes he doesn't ask me anything. Oh, Max, thank you. I don't know how I would have done this or got this or be able to do this if it wasn't for you and President Demas. But I like to say just a few minutes more. Max, Zadi, Beckwith, and Paul, put on your seatbelts, because man, you're gonna hit a very bumpy road. But I thank you. I thank you for your time. I thank you for listening to me, even though you know, like the other former mayor had said, and I've got it in the investigation, I wish she'd go away. But thank you. Now we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. But I'll see you the next city council meeting. Thank you.
As always, Mrs. Sekigli, we look forward to you coming to give public comment.
I know you do. You long for it.
I out of the assumption that you would be here, I did some reading, and I think it would be instructive for you to visit 3 Nephi 14, 1 through 6.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that's right. Your family is all Mormons. And so you would know what the Book of Mormon was, and that you're reading the Book of Mormon. Oh, praise Heavenly Father. That is awesome. Thank you. But it works both ways. Just like God is with both of us. Remember in your office how we sat there and laughed and we joked about this. We talked about people. We talked about God, genealogy. And we talked about that we'll be blessed if we do what's right. And I know without a doubt, because I went to the bishop, sat with the bishop for almost an hour, told him everything, the whole bit, and this is what he said to me. If you are guided by the Holy Ghost, go for it. But thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, I forgot about that.
I will certainly pray for you and the bishop.
Would you? And I will definitely pray for you. I even put you in the temple all the time. We're going to need it, and especially you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address us this evening? Okay, seeing no one, I will close public comment and move on to bills and claims, beginning with the bills and claims for October 7th, 2025.
Your Honor,
Councilor Demas.
I make a motion to approve the bills and claims for October 7th, 2025.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Thompson. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson.
I have one quick question. Councilman Councilman Malonis, do you plan on voting no on this?
Yes, I vote no.
Can you give us specific bills that you would like to vote no to?
No, I don't even look at them anymore. There's always some kind of waste in there.
So you're saying
just a moment, Councilor. Would you like us to take a recess, and that for you to identify them? Because if there is waste that is within the bills that the city is obligated to pay, then it's both in the interest of this body and of the public to be aware of them.
Well, I've talked to you before, and you guys told me we were in budget, so I'm just going to keep moving forward. It's going to get paid.
So you don't want to recess to identify the specific
I'll just say no.
claims?
No. Only what you voted.
Okay. Very good. That is a choice. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No?
Any abstaining? Okay, the motion carries with Councillor Malonis voting no. Next up, we have the salaries for September 22nd, 2025. Is there a motion?
Your Honor,
Councillor Demus?
I make a motion to approve the salaries for September 22nd, 2025.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Hanson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Okay, the motion carries with Councillor Thompson abstaining. Okay, that brings us to new business. And first up this evening, we have a recommendation from the Health Insurance Committee regarding health insurance premiums, HSA contributions, and stop loss for the 2026 plan year. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Yes, Councillor.
move to approve this recommendation.
Okay, motion from Councillor Hickerson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Councillor Zadi. Is there discussion?
Your Honor,
Councillor Hickerson.
so I'm the liaison for the Health Insurance Committee, and when this came up, they contacted me, met with Matt McMurray, who's the chair of it, and went through all sorts of options. And after listening to them and discussing it with the policy holders, or I guess the policy carrier, whoever we get it from, this was easily the best option to go for.
Thank you, Councillor. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The motion carries unanimously, bringing us to a request from the Police Department for permission to bid a lease agreement for police fleet vehicles. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councillor Demus?
I make a motion to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Pedri. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes, Councillor Bingham.
just a question. So right now, are we purchasing police vehicles? Is that what we're doing? And then we're just switching to a lease program?
Your Honor, Counselor, no, we're in a lease program right now. So for our patrol guys who work out of their car 8, 10, 12 hours a day, we've started a lease program. We started that, I think, about 2020, and that was to keep them in fresh, new, safe equipment. Our detective staff, office staff that sometimes work patrol, we've been purchasing those so we can keep them longer. But the idea is to replace the patrol cars that are worked kind of nonstop more often. So that's why we went with the lease program for those vehicles. This that we're requesting to go to bid for right now is the first time that we are actually replacing. So because of COVID, we couldn't get cars for the longest time.
Right.
So the idea is that every 4 to 5 years, whenever the equity is the highest, that we would recycle some of our oldest cars with newer leased vehicles. The equipment that we can exchange, radios, cameras, and stuff like that, would go into the new leased car. So we're not buying all the equipment every time, although there is some equipment to buy that just doesn't transfer with models.
Sure.
But the idea is to keep that cost as low as we can, but also keep our police officers in the newest, safest equipment that we can.
Okay, further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have a request for 3 liquor catering permits from the Ponderosa Bar for the Courtney Ella Fritz Memorial Pool Tournament on October 31st through November 2nd, 2025, from 8 a.m. until midnight at Bunning Hall. This will also require Green River City Council to act in approval. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve this request, Your Honor.
Thank you, Councillor Hickerson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? The motion carries unanimously, bringing us to our final item of new business this evening, a request from the Eagles FOE number 151 for permission to extend their serving area for the University of Wyoming Border Wars football game on October 25th, 2025, beginning at 2 p.m. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Hanson?
I move to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Bingham. Is there any discussion?
Go Pokes.
Very good. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
I'll be abstaining
Thank you.
due to being a member of the Eagles.
Very good. Okay, that brings us to resolutions for this evening. First up, we have a resolution accepting and approving a contract between the City of Rock Springs and DiBernardi Construction Company for the 2025 concrete replacement program in the amount of $1,125,800. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson?
move to approve Resolution 2025-125.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Thompson. Do we have discussion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson?
I was looking through my notes from last meeting, and it turns out my chicken scratch is hard for me to read. But how much lower or higher was this than our, I know it's a bid, so we're plus or minus 5% for locality, but this was the lowest, if I recall, right?
Well, Your Honor, Counselor Hickerson, we only received one bid.
Yeah, okay. So I had to have bids from other stuff that
and it was
ran into it.
It was very close to our engineer's estimate, so we deemed it a reasonable bid, and our recommendation is to approve it.
Thank you very much.
Your Honor.
Councilor Zadi?
I believe the bid you may be talking about would be the next one.
Well, see, so it kind of gets all run together at times because I'm
that
not
had
good at
multiple,
this.
and yeah.
I was enjoying having a bid that's the high, low, median, and mean all by itself.
Makes the math easy.
Okay, very good. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstain, they're a client of mine.
Okay. Motion carries with Councilor Zadi abstaining, which brings us to a resolution accepting and approving a contract between the City of Rock Springs and Meadowlark Asphalt Maintenance for the 2025 Crack Seal Phase 2 project in the amount of $67,571.75. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor, I move to approve Resolution 2025-126.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Demus. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor.
Councilor Hickerson.
Same question since they all ran together.
Yes, Your Honor, Counselor Hickerson, we did receive 4 bids, even with the 5% preference, since this company is an out-of-state bidder. Even with the 5% preference, they were still the low bidder, and they were actually under our engineer's estimate. So our recommendation is to approve this bid also.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
I'm going to abstain on this one, as well as one of my clients was a bidder on the project.
Okay. Thank you. The motion carries with Councilor Zadi abstaining, which brings us to Resolution 2025-127, a resolution accepting and approving a service agreement between the City of Rock Springs and Rocky Mountain Reserve for permission of a flexible spending account, dependent care account, and health savings account for city employees. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-127.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Bless you.
Bless you.
Second.
Bless you.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson, with the second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to Resolution 2025-128. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-128.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hanson. Is there discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to our final resolution of this evening, 2025-129. A resolution accepting and approving an ASO group renewal request with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-129.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Pedri. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to ordinances. First up, we have 2025-13, which is on its third reading, and we will look to take action.
An ordinance amending Title 15 entitled Land Usage, Article 156 entitled Subdivisions, Section 156.04, and repealing Sections 154.041 through 156.048 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, entitled Fees.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson?
move to approve ordinance 2025-13.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Bingham. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Matt, will you walk us through, please?
Councilor Demus,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Malonis, Bingham,
Yes.
Pedri,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. Okay, that motion carries unanimously, bringing us to ordinance 2025-14, which is also on its third reading.
An ordinance amending Chapter 157 entitled Zoning, Section 157.009B of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, entitled Fees.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus.
I make a motion to approve Ordinance 2025-14.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hanson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, if you will, please.
Councilor Zadi,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Malonis,
Yes.
Bingham,
Yes.
Pedri,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. Okay, that carries unanimously, bringing us to 2025-15, also on its third reading.
An ordinance amending Title 15 entitled Land Usage, Article 157 entitled Zoning, Section 157.008 entitled Definitions, Section 157.086 entitled Residential Zoning Districts, Section 157.088 entitled Community Business Zone B2, Section 157.091 entitled Light Industrial Zone I1, Section 157.092 entitled Heavy Industrial Zone I2, and Section 157.130 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, entitled Fences.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hanson.
I make a motion to approve 2025-15.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Whoa, in stereo. Councilor Bingham for the second. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor, I just want to make
Councilor Hanson?
excuse me. I'd like to make just a note that there's been a lot of time and effort going into cleaning these up. And I want to thank everybody that was involved to get this all cleaned up and taken care of, and hopefully continue with that stuff, so.
Absolutely. Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none, Matt, if you'll walk us through, please.
Councilor Hanson,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Malonis, Bingham,
Yes.
Pedri,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. Okay, carries unanimously. The next three ordinances we will not be taking action on this evening in terms of being on its third reading. First up, we have 2025-16, which is on its second reading.
An ordinance amending Title 11 entitled Business Regulations, Chapter 115 entitled Alcoholic Beverages, and creating Section 115.25 entitled Server Training.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor.
Councilor Bingham.
Just maybe a question for the chief. We had a little conversation before too, but just, are you concerned at all, have any concerns on this ordinance as far as Because I know you guys do provide this training as far as capacity. So,
Yeah, thank you, Counselor, Mayor. I guess there is some concern about where people will reach out to get this training. The police department does offer tips training, but I have one employee that does it, and it's a very side gig from his normal duties. So there's some concern there. There's been discussions in staff meetings about maybe a third party that could step up and provide a similar training, but right now that is a concern, yes.
Your Honor.
Counselor Zadi.
I do know it is available online as well. I got my tips training for serving, just volunteering that I do in that if I serve, and that was like a 4-hour online course or something like that. So it's fairly easy, and I think you can do it at your own pace. There are other options I think that are available. One question I have is with this, we're also requiring for those malt beverage permits, servers, and the special events and things like that. So I know in the past that had been an issue, is getting volunteers to work those events who are willing to go through the hours of training to get the tips certification. So there's some potential for issues there with some of these events and being able to get the people to work the events like they have in the past.
Sweetwater Prevention has awareness of a training that is not, it's actually faster than the 4 hours. I don't know. They were going to look into it to provide us some information on the effectiveness, because one of my concerns about bringing this forward, my understanding is that our training is fairly lengthy, and that can be not just for volunteers, but for small businesses, quite a burden. I actually have expected to get a lot more feedback on this than has been coming forward, so I'm assuming it's just a lack of awareness. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, folks will provide us some feedback. The intent, obviously, is to put some of the burden back on the folks who are serving alcohol to make sure that they're not over-serving. As we have sort of navigated the balance between loosening restrictions, right? That this is an option. If either organizations that rely on volunteers or businesses that rely on servers have concerns, they should definitely reach out to the council and myself. They're more than welcome to come to the next council meeting. But in the absence of feedback, here we are. Is there any further discussion?
Just really quick, I think it gettips.com. I believe there are 2 or 3 classifications of training for special event type malt beverage permit, and then restaurant and bar. So depending on what your position is in that, there's a training for each one, and that one is longer than the other, kind of depending on what you're doing.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
And that's my biggest question, is just if we're going to require the accessibility to it, and I appreciate Councilor Zadi's input on that. So if there's other alternatives, that's the important thing, I think. So thank you.
Yeah, very good. Okay, that takes us to 2025-17.
An ordinance amending Title III entitled Administration, Chapter 30 entitled City Officer and Employees, Section 30.046 entitled Council Members.
Very good. Council discussion?
Your Honor.
I would like to make a motion to table this ordinance. I do not feel it's the proper time to consider raises for the city council, especially with what we just discussed on the health insurance premiums going up for the city employees. It would, for me, it's in poor taste.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Second by Councilor Hickerson. Is there discussion?
Question on the
Councilor
table. And we know we go through this quite a bit, but if this is tabled through the next meeting, it dies on the table? Next two. So it would have to go the next 2 meetings on the table, then it would die without a consideration. Okay, thank you.
Further discussion?
I had one question as to why this, after we just cut our little bonus thing out, why would we even, I guess, consider this? What was the drive behind it?
I brought this forward out of consideration for Councilor Malonis's concerns about the reduction in salary and statement that nobody wants to be on council because of the pay, and I thought it would be helpful to bring it forward so that he could speak to the body regarding what would be appropriate. We did have an error in the original ordinance that was proposed, saying it had been 34 years since the last time council was given a raise, but it was actually 12 under Mayor Dempscher, and so it has been a long time. And I just think it's important that everybody's perspective is considered.
Your Honor,
Councilor Malonis.
how do you consider it a raise when you took off that much money? So we're just getting back to even. It's really not a raise.
Once again, the amount of money that's reduced in your statements is about $53 a month. This is $200 additional dollars a month. You still get the financial benefit from the payments into Wyoming retirement. So it works out to a little less than $150 more a month for each member of the council. Further discussion? Okay, Matt, can you walk us through a vote on the table motion?
Counselor Hickerson,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Malonis,
No.
Bingham,
Yes.
Pedri,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Mayor Mickelson.
Yes. Okay, the motion passes with Councilor Malonis voting no. That brings us to our final ordinance of this evening, 2025-18.
An ordinance amending Title III entitled Administration, Chapter 30 entitled City Officers and Employees, and creating Section 30.48 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Rock Springs entitled Ethics and Conduct.
Discussion.
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson.
may I ask what brought this about so everybody knows what's going on?
Apparently, we have had periodic times throughout the history of the council with the folks who have been here as staff where it has been suggested. The Wyoming Association of Municipalities has recently had a conversation amongst cities, and it is actually very unusual that the city of Rock Springs does not have a code of ethics for the governing body. And it became apparent that it would be helpful if we had a code of ethics that we have all discussed and agreed upon collectively to abide by.
Okay.
Councilor Zadi?
Your Honor, I'd read through this, and it does make sense. It is kind of surprising we haven't had anything in the past, but I think any organization such as the city council or any governing body should have some kind of guiding principles that it goes by, so.
Very good. Further discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll move on to council updates. This is your opportunity to share with your constituency what you all have been up to since our last meeting.
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson.
this past Saturday, I met with Renard Jensen, who's on the Old Timers Building Committee, and he asked my opinion on a few things, and then we discussed what we could do as a city and a committee to help make the flow of working together go better. And the recommendation that we both agreed on would be to have an appointed liaison to that committee so we can increase our channels of communication.
Are you volunteering?
If need be, since it's in my ward. I could volunteer Pedri, though. He's in my ward as well.
You were already nominated, buddy.
Okay, we will take care of that at the October 21st meeting. Anyone else?
I want to
Yes, sir.
say that this past weekend, there were two events at the Broadway Theater. I missed Friday. Saturday was the George Michael Reborn. And we're bringing in a lot of good talent in this town. It's kind of disheartening when you look and there's only 75, 80 people there. The show he put on was great. He looked like George Michael, sounded like him. My wife really enjoyed it. Not so much. I guess not my style of music or my favorite, but it'd be nice to see the community involvement more and to go to these shows because we're doing our best to bring some culture and some entertainment to the community. And it's sad when you get an entertainer that goes out there on stage and we're not really putting forth a good showing of our community. To his credit, he put on a great show, even though there weren't as many people there as I'd hoped for. I just can only imagine what it would have been like if there was a little bit more, and the energy of the crowd and everything else would have made it better. But I do encourage people to please look for shows that are coming to our community and do your best to attend. So,
Along those same lines, I believe there's like 4 or 5 shows in November that are coming up that all look real good. So everybody either go to the URA or the Broadway Theater and see what we've got coming and get involved there also.
Is it October 28th that they're doing the showing of the movie about the Trona mines?
Yeah, yes, that's right.
That looks really good. Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I got to ask you about this logo. I see it all over now. I got to know why we're doing a new logo. What's it going to cost us to do this new logo all over? What does it even represent? And what gives you the authority to do this? Changing our whole logo.
Well, one, there was a committee of council members who met and made the selection. 2, the ordinances of the city of Rock Springs invest the mayor's office with that authority. 3, it's not costing extra funding because we are replacing things primarily as they're worn out.
That was brand new.
Yes, and that came from a citizen who said it was very frustrating watching our meetings every 2 times a month and seeing that we had not updated the logo to match the new logos that they're seeing around town. And so in response to that, I asked to have this done.
So when was the meeting with the counselors?
Councilor Malonis, this has all been provided to you, and this is not an update of what you have been up to in the last
I
couple
haven't
of
seen
weeks.
this logo, the council meeting on this logo.
Sir, I'm not having this conversation again with you. You are persistent and chuckling is not a professional or appropriate reaction.
Yeah, you're professional, Max.
So we are going to adjourn this meeting.
Didn't want to say something, but okay.
I'm sorry, Jeannie.
It's okay. Well, I did attend the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, did you? Was it awesome?
Yes, Mary was there. I couldn't remember what they, but I was going to tell